That is an actual booger. That's awesome. But it's definitely going to Bojangles later tonight because they got my order wrong last week. Hey, what's going on, guys? It is time for another bill search where we're going to go through my pocket money and see if we find anything worth more than face value or is at least collectible. We're looking for fancy serial numbers like birthday notes, broken ladders or ladder notes, important historical dates, and then funky print with the thing. So if you got any money in your pocket or you ever have some loose pocket change, then check out my videos on what to look for. And I got a ton of stuff that comes out every day. So if you like collectibles, if you like coins, yada yada yada, hit subscribe, but let's get to it. 2021 series $5 note. They're talking about redesigning all these bills over the next 15 or 20 years or so through 2035, 2040. They're starting with the $10 bill, and I have a video that's out for that, so check that out. Nothing going on the serial number. Little bit of free gunk on the front. I have another video I'm working on, but it's taken me a little bit of time. But by the end of the weekend, I'll get it out. It'll talk about all the security features on every denomination of note, how to tell if it's real, errors to look for, kind of a whole shebang of stuff, you know. Little bit of more free boogers and stuff, so we'll move on. I'll go quicker through the notes themselves, but, you know, thought I'd yap for a second. Would have been cool to have a little bit of more of a pattern here. Cool, kind of triple fives in the middle, eights going on, but without the repetition being decent enough. I'm not going to hold on to it. $10 note, speaking of which, the ones that they're going to redesign first, they're planning on releasing them. And if you know anything about government scheduling, that could be correct or not, in the next couple of years, by 2026, 2027. So they're going to release new $10 notes. I think the best feature they're talking about having on them is a new tactile functions for the visually impaired. I think that's wonderful. Sixes, ones, really clean $1 note from Series 2021. And a little bit of extra ink going on. All it is here, it looks like a thumbprint. I'll pull it closer to the camera. It's just excess ink from the front from Washington's goat. But if it's ever really dramatic where you can see the whole portrait almost, then hold on to it. Newer note as well. Really clean. And nice and printed appropriately. Check out, keep an eye out for ink issues and misprints and misalignments, things of that nature that are more of a broad spectrum error you can look for. And a little shift in the seal here, but not enough to call home about. Some threes, some fives. 2017 A L for San Francisco. And okay, maybe it's just my eyes deceiving me, but for a second there I thought we had a little bit of a line here. Little bit of an error. Am I feeling a fold? I'm feeling a fold. It would have been cool if we had kind of almost a little miniature gutter fold error. Gutter folds are really cool. That would have been neat. It's where the paper binds and it prints over top of the bind and then you're missing a little print. It would have been super minor, but still cool. That is an actual booger. That's awesome. Nothing in the serial number. Folded up, beat up. Somebody blew their nose in it. I'll hold it skillfully, but it's definitely going to Bojangles later tonight because they got my order wrong last week, so they get the booger note. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. Nothing going on the back of that note either, but a little bit of eights, a little bit of sevens, 2017 series, ton of them printed in that series. It's actually a little bit of misalignment going on where it's shifted down into the right for the whole note, but not enough. If it's straddling the edge of it, then I would hold on to it, but other than that, just something to keep an eye out for. Nothing going on there. Yeah, Washington's looking sad on this one. 2013 series F for Atlanta, Georgia. And beat up on the back also. It'd be hard to tell if anything's misprinted with all the damage. So, conditions 9/10 of the law. It's a little bit shifted over, but nothing too crazy. 2006, can't even talk. 2006, so one of the older ones that we've seen in the last few bill searches. Nothing going on though. Definitely been wet, and this kind of stray ink dealio here, this green ink up here, usually it doesn't even look like the right tone, but if it was, it's usually from the notes being wet and it bleeds over. I mean, it's a cotton linen mix, so kind of like bleed on your clothing when you wash it incorrectly. You know, color can kind of make its way across the paper, so to speak. Nice rip in this $5 note. Keep an eye out around the repetitious fives and kind of more intricate detail around the Lincoln Memorial on the back of $5 banknotes. Sometimes you can find some issues there. And speaking of kind of excess of ink or ink issues or kind of misprints, same with $1 notes. Keep an eye out on the reverse of the note around the Great Seal, the unfinished pyramid, the little heraldic eagle dealio on the right, and keep an eye out for kind of print issues around intricate detail there. And nothing going on that one. Some 8s, some 7s. Nothing too crazy in the serial number. Yeah, somebody was drawing on this one. Nice fold. Nothing going on there. You can read the serial number a little bit, but unless you can read the whole thing, it's not really worth holding on to. Same deal here. Somebody wrote on that. So if it were collectible, even if it's signed by some famous person, it really actually detracts from value in most cases and from grade when you send it into like PCGS or something like that, PMG, whatever. Nothing going on there. 2017 A. Federal Reserve stamp for Chicago. And nothing going on there. A little more prevalent where it's just kind of to give you something to look for. How that kind of excessive ink from the front there starts to cover portions of this N here. Again, if it's actually, you can make out almost the whole portrait. See, when I turn the light, if you can actually make up, almost up, if I can talk, if you can make out most of Washington, there we go. You can actually sell those for a bit over face value. It's something kind of like a quasi-collectible thing. Nice shoe print and free. It's always good. And also beat up. I don't know what somebody was doing with this. Tap dancing on it. Nothing in the serial number either. 2727 would have been nice to have a repeater on the end there. And nothing going on. 2017A. Nothing different with these notes since the 50s. Ones haven't been updated at all and didn't make the list either. So they cut them on the old chopping block for redesign as well, which is weird. Same with 2s. What is going on with this thing? You know, normally I do see a little bit of speckles of some excess ink here and there, but this thing is covered. I mean, it's actually got quite a bit going on. Covers all the way across the signature. It's all drag usually when they re-ink, well, the plate, of course, but excess of ink kind of drags from this area. It'd be cool if on the back, which it does, look at that. I know it looks to a lot of you like, oh, it's minor. Everybody's so concerned with how much can I sell the $20 note for, right? You're like, okay, cool, Kyle, you found a little stray ink. I see those too. Can I sell them for $1 million? The answer is no. I'm so sorry your 2017 whatever A is not worth that. I am more of a collector than an investor when it comes to this hobby. Same why I keep a lot of star notes. I mean, they're not really worth anything more than face value in most cases. Same with stuff like this. I just think this is so neat to me. A little tiny stray inking going on never hurt anybody. So, you know, this little ink smear here is cool to me. It's collectible to me. I'm going to hold on to it. Now, you know, am I saying it's going to be held in the collection for years to come? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm going to put it in a plastic top loader for banknotes to keep it at least preserved the way it is. Then, you know, if I get cash poor and need 20 bucks really, really bad, then maybe this guy will go to groceries or something. But until then, you know, little finds like that, I think is the best part of this hobby. I'll set it aside. And stop yapping. 0, 1, 2. Would have been cool if we would have had let's see, was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we would have had a 5 instead of another 1 here, would have been a broken ladder, or some people refer to them as just ladders. 2006, so a little bit older $10 note, kind of post the redesign. This was in the early 2000s when they redesigned 10s, and then here we are, right at 20 years later, it's going to be another one. A little bit of something. Oh, okay, we're just talking dirt and smudgel. I thought we had a little bit of another ink issue going on there, but it's just wear and tear. Nothing really jumping out on the front or back of that. We're down to the last few. Looks like I got a couple 5 spots and a 1. Nothing really jumping out on this guy. This guy's beat and has seen his day. So sorry, Mr. Series 2017 $1 banknote. Nothing going on the front. Hard to tell on the back. Lots of damage. Been folded all to get out and can't really tell much with it. So we're going to move on. Yeah, a little bit of 8s, little 4s, little 0s, but not enough repetition for me to hold on to. Yeah, let me check the front a little bit further. Too beat up, too. I mean, there's a little stray inking going on in this 0, but it's very, very minor. And this one's kind of seen its day as well. Nice and beat up. Last but not least, $5 banknote. Can go to a unhealthy pizza dinner tonight or something like that, but a Series 2021. Kind of neat in the sense that, you know, you got a lot of kind of extra dots of ink going on. If you ever get something that's really excessive, you can see here on the 0, the tail bottom, kind of tail end of the 9, in the 6, the 5. That's when they, right after they kind of re-ink everything or lubricate all the machinery and kind of maintenance everything in between print runs, and it gets a little excess ink laid down on it. In this case, it's kind of normal, but I have seen ones where portions get filled in, it's just excessively heavy inked, and it's totally worth holding on to, in my opinion, and I have seen them sell for a little over face value in some cases, but I think they're just really cool, so keep an eye out for those. Nothing going on that one on the front. Kind of a little something. I'd have to say this little black portion here looks like the little wheel mechanism when you get it at, like, I bank at Truist and a couple other places, but at Truist now they have like a robot counting ATM looking thing behind the counter that spits out most of the money now, so they don't have to worry about a teller, I guess, miscounting it. But that thing's got a bunch of rollers, and I highly doubt they ever clean it. It's the same with the little teeth marks when they use kind of a similar, you know, counting machine. They just never clean the thing, and it stays there decrepit and gross on the good old bank counter and transfers it to our would-be collectible notes. What am I holding on to? Kind of a heavy inked, over-inked $20 banknote. Like I said, I don't think the thing is necessarily worth a cajillion dollars or even much over face value, but it does give a great example of something to keep an eye out for. If it was worth a mint, so to say, the folding and stuff would definitely detract from that. Conditions 9/10 of the law with any collectible. You can ask anybody that collects just really anything. And really, if you just care about any of your items. If you ever go to resell them, you know, the better the condition, the more money you're going to get in most cases. Let me know what you think about this little minor heavy ink $20 note with, really, it's just like little blobs of ink going on, like when they printed portions of the note. It just had a mind of its own. Let me know what you think about it, and more importantly, let me know what you've come across in your coin and banknote searches, your collectible searches, in the comments. I will see you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.